Nibiru, Nemesis, and Comet Atlas, scientists find new evidence that our solar system may have two suns. And we know that the ancients even thought that they believed that we had two suns. And we've even had comets blasting at us from antiquity. And there are those that say that every 3,600 years we have a cometary system, a planetary system that makes its way around our Earth. And we recently have the newfound comet that was found December of last year, Comet Atlas. It's called Atlas because it was seen by the Atlas telescope of Hawaii. And it's said that its tail is 4 times the size of Jupiter. And we can see it now in the northwest sky. Now, concerning the two suns, according to experts, there's evidence suggesting that most stars in the universe are born in pairs. And for decades, scientists speculated that our sun has a twin referred to as perhaps Nemesis, or a dwarf star responsible for hurtling objects from the outer solar system towards our planet. In fact, they say this quote-unquote Nemesis may even have been responsible for mass extinctions that rocked our Earth millions of years ago. We have radio images of young binary star systems and triple star systems as well, forming disks of dust. Now, all detected in the molecular cloud of Perseus, the binary system located in the region IC348, where the two stars interacted by emitting pulses of light. Astronomers use the term binary system to refer to two stars that are so close together that they orbit around a common center of mass. This is something quite frequent in the universe, which has motivated some researchers to question if our sun could ever be part of one of these systems. Now, a team of researchers from the University of Harvard and Berkeley has conducted a study whose results suggest that all stars are born forming binary systems. All stars, he says. This is the University of Harvard. Binary systems forming that are ours would also not be an exception to this. In fact, many stars in the universe have faithful companions, something that we can observe if we look at our nearest galactic neighbor, Alpha Centauri, a solar system which consists of 3 stars, Alpha Centauri Alpha and Alpha Centauri Beta, which Centauri A and Centauri B, which form the binary star Alpha Centauri AB, also named Regil Centaurus, a small, faint red dwarf Alpha Centauri C, also named Proxima Centauri. Inspired by this fact, astronomers analyzed a hypothesis formulated decades ago by physicist R.A. Muller, suggesting that our sun has an undetected partner called quote-unquote Nemesis, capable of generating disturbances in the Oort cloud with devastating consequences for the inner parts of our solar system. In fact, this would even explain the cycle of mass extinctions that occur every 27 million years. Back in the 1980s, experts noticed that mass extinction events on our planet, like the one which was believed to have wiped out the dinosaurs, seemed to follow a cataclysmic pattern. After several studies, scientists were able to calculate that mass extinctions on Earth occur about every 27 million years. This raised numerous questions, and the long pauses between events made them turn towards the universe to look for an explanation. Then a scientist called Richard Muller from the University of California at Berkeley proposed that the perpetrator could be a twin of the sun dwelling 1.5 light years away. While no evidence has ever been found that Nemesis exists, a new study has offered a glimpse of hope by proving that all stars, and even our sun, are born with a twin, meaning that somewhere out there our solar system's second sun may still lurk undetected. According to newsberkeley.edu, the new assertion is based on a radio survey of a giant molecular cloud filled with recently formed stars in the constellation Perseus, and a mathematical model that could explain the Perseus observation only if all sun-like stars are born with a companion. This is a radio image of a very young binary solar system, less than about 1 million years old, formed within a dense cloud, an oval outline in the Perseus molecular cloud. The co-author Stephen Sattler, UC Berkeley research astronomer, said, "We are saying yes, there probably was a Nemesis a long time ago. We ran a series of statistical models to see if we could account for the relative populations of young single stars and binaries of all separations in the Perseus molecular cloud, and the only model that could reproduce the data was one in which all stars form initially as wide binaries." And he goes on to explain, these systems then either shrink or break apart within 1 million years. In the recently published work, experts refer to wide binaries, quote unquote, as two stars separated by more than 500 astronomical units, or AU, where an astronomical unit is the average distance between the Sun and Earth, that's 93 million miles. Experts explain that a wide binary companion to our Sun would have been 17 times farther from the Sun than its most distant planet today, Neptune. And based on this model, the Sun's sibling most likely escaped and mixed with all the other stars in our region of the Milky Way galaxy, never to be seen again. Quote, "The idea that many stars form with a companion has been suggested before, but the question is, how many?" Unquote. This was said by the first author, Sarah Sadove, a NASA Hubble Fellow at the Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory. She said, "Based on our simple model, we say that nearly all stars form with a companion. The Perseus cloud is generally considered a typical low-mass star forming region, but our model needs to be checked in other clouds," she said. This by Asian Code News, Berkeley, EDU, phys.org, and it's on Humans Are Free. And now concerning our Nibiru cataclysm, before we go into the Atlas Comet. The Nibiru cataclysm, the supposed disastrous encounter between Earth and a large planetary object, either a collision or a near miss, a near passage, that certain groups believe would take place soon. Believers in this event usually refer to this as Planet X or Nibiru, and the idea was first put forward in 1995 by Nancy Leiter, founder of the website Zetatalk. Now, the prediction subsequently spread beyond the website, embraced by numerous internet groups, and it became closely associated with the 2012 phenomenon. And the Nibiru cataclysm frequently appeared in popular media. And also, we have to talk, this comes in with the Planet 9 theory, although the name Nibiru is derived from the works of the ancient astronaut writer Zecharia Sitchin. In his interpretations of Babylonian and Sumerian mythology, he denied any connection between his work and various claims of a coming apocalypse, a prediction by self-described numerologist David Meade that the Nibiru cataclysm could occur, he said it would be a date that was way past, September 23rd, 2017, for example. That a planet-sized object could collide or closely pass Earth in the near future is not supported by scientific evidence and has been rejected by astronomers and planetary scientists as pseudoscience and an internet hoax. Now, astronomers have hypothesized that many planets beyond Neptune could exist, though many have been disproved. There are some that remain viable candidates, such as Planet 9. All the current candidates are in orbits that keep them well beyond Neptune throughout their orbit, even when they are closest to the Sun. Now, our comet Atlas. It's a comet with a near parabolic orbit, which was discovered by the Atlas survey on 28th of December 2019. Around the 2nd of April 2020, the comet underwent major fragmentation event. That's why we see that big tail. The brightest comet of 2020, and when it had an apparent magnitude of about 7, It's currently around magnitude 9, making it about 6 times dimmer than it was. It's fainter than C 2017 Pan-STARRS and Comet Swan, and it could be found with a telescope or even binoculars at the Camelopardalis constellation. Camelopardalis is a Greek word for giraffe. Due to the fragmentation event, it's unknown if the comet will continue to brighten. It's also not known if it will reach naked eye visibility sometime in April or May, and it will reach its nearest point to Earth on May 23rd and come to perihelion, closer to the Sun, on May 31st. On April 6, 2020, astronomers reported that on the astronomer's telegram, the possible disintegration of Comet Atlas. The comet has fragmented into at least 4 pieces. The fragmentation may be the result of outgassing, causing an increase in the centrifugal force of the comet. Now, it was discovered by the Atlas telescope, reflecting telescope atop Mauna Loa, Hawaii, and that's why it's called Atlas. It's taken after the asteroid terrestrial impact last alert system. And the comet shone at magnitude 19.6 in the constellation Ursa Major, as viewed from Earth. The initial observation and brightness. In March 2020, the comet's brightness increased 4 magnitudes. The currently green or aqua color arises from the emissions of the diatomic carbon, more than twice as wide as the Sun. The tail is more than twice as wide as our Sun. The outer reaches of Atlas's tail are still faint, but the gaseous filament can sweep across the stars. As a diffuse object, the comet will need to reach an apparent magnitude of 3 to 4 to be obvious to the casual observer in a dark sky. The 4th magnitude comet in bright twilight is not very impressive nor obvious. In early April, the comet faded due to significant fragmentation events. And the location of it? Located in the constellation of Ursa Major. Throughout the month of April, the comet will be in the constellation Camelopardalis. On May 12th, it will move into Perseus, and it will be its closest to Earth, the point to Earth on May 23rd, during a new moon, when the comet will be 17 degrees from the Sun. And it is believed to be coming at us every 4,000 years. The JPL small body database used an epoch of February 18, 2020 shows Atlas with an orbital period of approximately 6,000 years, but this solution includes misleading perturbations while inside of the planetary region. A more useful barycentric solution before the comet entered the planetary region shows an inbound orbital period of about 4,800 years. The comet will reach its nearest point to the Sun May 31st, 2020. After leaving the planetary region, the comet will have an outbound orbit period of about 5,800 years. So now at the time of its discovery, as we said, it was December 28th, 2019, and January 9th, 2020, indicating a 4,400 year orbital period, perihelion of 0.25 AU. Similarities were noted between the orbital element of the Atlas comet and the Great Comet of 1844, suggesting that Comet Atlas, or C219Y4, is a fragment of the same parent body. And of course, this was last seen at the time of the ancient Egyptians, when it came by 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. Now, could this be having to do with what we have coming at us every 3,600 years or so? And I'll let you comment on that. I'll leave links below for you for these Wikipedia articles and on Humans Are Free. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.